I'm Derek Kellogg, the founder, owner, cider maker at Rebellion Cider Works in Slippery Rock, PA. I always say like I went to college to make sure that I actually liked farming, so like I wanted to see what else was an option. When I saw what the other options were, then I was definitely a farmer for life. I've always been interested in fermentation, I guess. Using fermentation to preserve food. I've told people before that when I could look at a magazine full of pictures of wine cellars and it was like Playboy. I just love the idea of the storage. As far as why I got into cider, I just love fermentation. I love the idea of preserving. The first time I tasted an English bittersweet cider made from bittersweet apples was the kind of the thing that just made me go crazy, because it was something I've never tasted before, flavors I've never tasted before, and just the cider was so complex and so wonderful. I just knew that's the cider I wanted to make. From that point on, I kind of got obsessed. So my goal is really to make a high quality cider that people in the local area can enjoy that's made from this area. I make traditional cider, so I take whole apples and I press them and I use 100% juice and ferment it, and that's cider. My goal is to let the apple express itself. This year I made about 2,400 gallons. I can press way more juice than I can store. It happened, I came across this press. It's a 1921 Boomer and Boschert press made in Syracuse, New York. It's a rack and cloth press, so it's pretty big for a rack and cloth press, and that's kind of like the most fun I have is pressing apples. I like doing it, and that's kind of the old way to do it. I want to grow my apples. I want to grow them a certain way. I want to harvest them a certain way so that I can express the apple the best way possible through a fermented beverage. Last year I made 3 different styles. Right off the bat, I keep my cider apples separate. These are the bittersweets and bitter sharps. They have tannin. I like them dry. I like to be able to feel the tannin, the astringency in my mouth. There is a unique aroma to bittersweet cider that you can't get from anything other than bittersweet apples. So it has light tannin, it's nice and dry, it's crisp, it's clean, it's almost like a white wine. Cider is the fastest growing segment of the alcohol beverage industry. My cider is currently being served on rotating tap at North Country Brewing in Slippery Rock. Shoe Brew has it on permanent tap. They're in Zillionople, they're a new brew pub. And then we're looking to expand a few more places. I want to expand because I want more people to drink my cider. I want more people to experience traditional cider. Cider has a really strong history in America. Prior to Prohibition, traditional cider was almost as popular as beer. It was the rural drink. I mean, they said for every 10 farmhouses there was a cider mill. A lot of people come in here, they say they've never had cider, and it's like, well, this is cool because you're like, could be 40 years old and this is something you've never tasted and I make it, you know, so that's really interesting. The really unique ciders are basically impossible to make on a large scale. I am a cider maker and I just want to make the best cider possible and for people to enjoy that.